Today is December 9th. I'm going to walk you through today's assignments. All right, so our week, we're going to go to Wednesday. You have 3 tasks today. The first one is the Scrooge character transformation. So with this one, you are going to be watching Scrooge and his character change throughout the story. And while you watch him change, you're going to be writing about it. Now, I've already had someone this morning ask how they're supposed to fill this out if they've only read one scene. And it's because you are going to be working on this as a progression. So if you look at step 3 here, today you're only going to be answering the Act 1, Scene 1 boxes because that's all you've read. This assignment is ongoing, and we will continue to work on it chunk by chunk after each reading. So you are not expected to complete this entire document today. You're only expected to complete what you've read from yesterday. So let me show you the document. So I'm going to go to the Fiction folder, Christmas Carol folder, and click on the Scrooge character transformation. Fiction folder, Christmas Carol, Scrooge character transformation. All right, I have 2. You can ignore that. All right, so I'm going to open up the document. Don't need Grammarly. All right, so I will stop at Act 1, Scene 1. So you just pay attention to the green boxes here. They'll tell you what act and scene you're on. So this is Act 1, Scene 1, meaning these boxes are the only ones I'm working on. Now, at the top here, you'll note that you must fill in the yellow boxes with your answers. Part of the table has already been completed for you. So I'm going to look and I'm going to see what I need to fill out. I need to fill out these boxes. So this column is asking for a character trait that describes Scrooge from Act 1, Scene 1. So after having read Act 1, Scene 1, I'll ask myself, what's a character trait that I could use to describe Scrooge? And if I can't think of the words, I can come up here and I can click on List of Negative Character Traits. Now, at the beginning of the story, you're going to want negative character traits, and toward the end is when you're going to be looking for positive character traits. Just a little hint. So I will put a character trait in here. My next step is, what event does Marley talk about that shapes his perspective of Scrooge? So what is something that Marley says that helps us to see this character trait? And then this box is already filled out for you. So text evidence. Then I'll go down here. Okay, so I've got this box filled out. What event does Marley talk about that shapes his perspective of Scrooge? So I'd read this event. And based on what's said in this event, I'll try to determine a character trait that's explained here. And then over here, I'll find some text evidence to support it. And I've even got a little bit of a hint that says, look in paragraph 3. I can look in paragraph 3 for some text evidence that goes with this box and whatever I choose to put over here. Then tomorrow, you'll be working on Act 1, Scene 2, and you'll fill in the Act 1, Scene 2 boxes. But that's tomorrow. That's not today. You are not going to do this entire document today. That would be crazy. So do not accidentally do too much. All right, so once I've completed my character transformation boxes for Act 1, Scene 1, I can move on to Task 2, which is to read and snot Act 1, Scene 2. So I am going to need to open up my Christmas Carol Act 1. I could have it in my drive, or I could have bookmarked it. It depends on what I did. So I would go to my drive and I'd open up Christmas Carol Act 1. And I'm going to either scroll to Scene 2, or I can use the bookmarks at the top of the page to go to Scene 2. You're going to do the same thing as yesterday where you're going to read it in SNOT. You can click here to view the fiction SNOTs if you need them, and you can click here to view a teacher example. Each scene does have a read aloud, and you can use the read aloud. It's some of the teachers in the building doing the read aloud for you, so you might really enjoy it. You are only reading Act 1, Scene 2. You are not expected to read all of Act 1 today. All right. Once you've completed Act 1, Scene 2, that's some SNOTs, you can move on to Task 3, which is to watch Act 1, Scene 3. So now you get to watch a video. So you'll click here to access the YouTube video of Act 1, Scene 3. And once you've watched the video, you can follow this pathway to answer the Scene 3 questions. A helpful tip, take note of the minute markers on the questions, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. If you go to the minute markers and rewatch the video, you'll find the answer. So I've given you those minute markers so you can go back to the video, go to that specific minute, and find the answer to the question a little easier. And it's also easy if you use split screen or picture-in-picture to view the questions and the video at the same time. That'd be a great idea. All right, let me show you what I mean by the minute markers. Fiction folder, Christmas Carol, Scene 3 questions. So with these questions, for example, this one says, what is the relationship between Scrooge and Marley at minute 3:30? So I can go back to the movie and I can move the little cursor of the video, set it at 3:30, press play, watch it that moment, and that will help me answer this question. Same thing here. If I watch the video from minute 5:50 to minute 7:30, then I'm going to get the answers for this one. All right. So I highly, highly recommend going to those minute markers. Let's see. All right. That is it for today. Meet me on Google Meet during your class times if you'd like. Remember, it's not required, so don't feel like you have to come. Tuesdays and Thursdays are question days, so if you've got questions, you can pop on. Otherwise, don't worry about it. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are days where I'll walk you through the assignments and make sure that you guys understand what you're doing. All right. Have a great day.